Very warm welcome to our biology class. How are you, students? I hope you are all fine, doing well in your studies. Again, I would like to encourage you all, students, during these lockdown time. Don't at all waste your time. Please keep on reading, understanding the things properly. So that will really help you to get a good score in forthcoming competitive exams. So today in this class, we are going to learn one more very important gland. It is called a parathyroid gland. So before going into the details of the parathyroid gland, I would like to make you to understand what is the importance of calcium ions in our body. Students, the calcium ions are the one which plays a very important role in a blood coagulation. Without these calcium ions, blood won't get coagulate. And without calcium ions, even the muscle contraction also won't take place. Right now, probably you are moving your head, your hand, your leg, or your any body part. It is all because of the muscular contraction. And to carry the muscular contraction, calcium ions are plays very important role. And the calcium ions are even help us to make our bones much stronger. Without the calcium, our bones may not be strong enough. And even the calcium ions are plays an important role by acting as an secondary messengers during the hormonal action. And even the calcium ions are the one which plays an important role in the nerve impulse transmission from one neuron to the next neuron. Whenever the nerve impulse is transmitting, at that time calcium ions are plays a very important role. So these are all the important functions of the calcium in our body. Not only these, even many more roles are there of this calcium ions. Then my question is, whether is it important to maintain the normal blood calcium level in our body or not? I mean the normal level. Means the level, it must not be too high or it must not be too low. It must be normal. Even if it is high, it is going to make the problem. If it is low, even it makes the problem. That's why it must be with a normal level. Then we learned already one earlier gland, is the thyroid gland. Whenever the blood calcium level is in the higher level, by that time, thyroid gland secretes the hormone called as an TCT hormone, thyrocalcitonin hormone. And that thyrocalcitonin hormone is the one which will take the calcium from the blood and deposit into the bones. And that event we call it as a mineralization. So from the blood, calcium is going to be taken and deposited into the bones. Means the TCT will carry the mineralization. And even in the earlier my videos, I told you the parathyroid hormone is the one which will plays exactly opposite role to the TCT hormone. Suppose now whenever the blood calcium level is going to decrease than the normal, by that time PTH hormone, parathyroid hormone, is secreted from the parathyroid gland, and that hormone helps in increasing the blood calcium level and bringing it to the normal. Parathyroid hormones are getting secreted, so those parathyroid hormones are going to act on the bone and removing the calcium from the bone, increasing the level of blood calcium. This is called as a demineralization, means taking the calcium out of the bone, demineralization. So in this class, we are going to understand this parathyroid gland, where it located, what all the hormones are going to be secreted by it, and what is the role of that hormone. We are going to understand in detail in this class. So please observe the video till the end to get the perfect knowledge related to the parathyroid gland and its hormone. Now, let us know the location of this gland, where it is located first of all. We know already, students, in earlier our class, where the thyroid gland is located. It is present on the ventral side to our neck region. Suppose now, if the man is turned towards that side, we are looking from the back side now. Even by this time also, we are observing here the thyroid gland, and it is the one trachea, it is supposed, and behind this trachea actually even esophagus is there, and even the vertebral column we will find. But we are going to observe the lobes of thyroid gland here on the lateral side of trachea. And on the dorsal side of these thyroid lobes, we will find the presence of the parathyroid gland. Where they are located? On the back side of thyroid gland, parathyroid glands are located. And these parathyroid glands are the one who are composed by total 4 lobes. There are 2 superior lobes are there. Means this is one and this one. Both these are called as an superior lobes, and these are the inferior lobes. Total 4 lobes are there. Dear students, in our body, this is only the gland which have its own 4 copies. Total 4 copies of these glands are there. No any other such glands are there in our body. They have a number of copies, but this is only the gland which have 4 copies of the same. And this gland is even well supplied by the circulatory system, by the artery, and the blood pass through that, and it will collected by the veins, and it is going to again collect back. Now, if you zoomed one parathyroid gland, how it looks like then? It is even made up of the number of cells. So those cells are called as an chip cells. And students, these are the cells which will keep on producing the hormone called as PTH hormone, means the parathyroid hormone. Probably you might be observing the parathyroid hormone right now here. These are the parathyroid hormone. And let me tell you the importance of this gland. This gland is not at all regulating by the pituitary gland. No other glands or even have a role controlling on this gland. It will control its functions by the level of calcium in the blood. Suppose whenever the blood calcium level is going to increase, then it will stop to secrete the parathyroid hormone. Whenever the blood calcium level drops than the normal, then automatically this particular gland is going to get activated and it starts to secrete the PTH hormone. Means the calcium sensitive receptors are located on the plasma membrane of these chip cells in the parathyroid gland cells. Now, whenever this parathyroid hormone level, parathyroid hormone secretes, that will help in maintaining the blood calcium level. Let us now understand how that particular hormone is helping in increasing the blood calcium level. Now, you can observe it here. Whenever the parathyroid hormone secretes, it will start to act on the intestine. And when it is act on the intestine, by that time, it is going to activate the vitamin D in the intestine wall. And activated vitamin D's are helps in absorption of the calcium. And whatever that absorbed calcium is there, it will be brought into the blood. So automatically the blood calcium level is going to increase. This is what the one way how the blood calcium level is going to increase by the PTH hormone. And even the PTH hormones are going to act on the bone. Actually, in the bone, there are the one particular type of the cells. They are called as an osteoclast cells. The parathyroid hormone activate the osteoclast cells, and these osteoclast cells are started to take out the calcium from the bone. Whatever the calcium it is taken out of the bone, it is going to brought into the blood, and the blood calcium level of course increases. But whatever the taking out of the calcium from the bone, that process is there, we call it as a demineralization. I hope you are remembering that things what I told you in an earlier video. The thyrocalcitonin hormone, it is helps in mineralization, but the PTH hormone is helps in demineralization. Means both of them are work in a exactly opposite manner. Then even the PTH hormone act on the nephron, and from there they helps in increasing the reabsorption of the calcium ions from the urine. And that whatever the reabsorbed calcium ions are there, they are brought into the blood, so automatically blood calcium level is going to increase. And as you all know that the calcium plays a very important role in our body. This is what all about the parathyroid gland and its hormone, and how the parathyroid hormone helps in maintaining the blood calcium level, that what we have seen. So ultimately what happened here, students? Ultimately the blood calcium level has increased. Because of that, the PTH hormone is even called as an hypercalcemic hormone. Hypercalcemic means it is helps in increasing the blood calcium level. Hypercalcemic hormone, it even called as. I hope so, students. Now you are very much clear regarding where these parathyroid glands are located and how or what type of cells they are made up of. and what are all the hormones are getting secreted by that, and what is the role of that hormone, you have properly understood over here. Now, once again, glance here to understand if it is decreased, if it is increased the hormone level, what will happen. Hypoparathyroidism, hyperparathyroidism conditions also we will understand right now here. Before going for that, we will understand once again the functions of this hormone. It is helps in increasing the blood calcium level from absorbing from the intestine or from the taking out of from the bone, or it is from the reabsorption from the renal tubules. By that way, blood calcium level is going to increase. So what is the use of this calcium ions we have seen? It is helps in muscle contraction, blood coagulation, formation of the bones, nerve impulse transmission, and even act as in secondary messengers. These are all the functions are there. Suppose now, if the calcium level started to drop in our blood, then what will happen? Hypoparathyroidism is going to occur. Means decreased blood calcium level is going to found. So now, that condition is called as an hypoparathyroidism. By that time, you might be observing the hand over here, which has become non-contractile, stiff. That condition is called as an hypocalcemic tetany. Students, in a second year, in a human health and disease chapter, you are learning regarding the tetany in a very brief manner. It is one of the deadly diseases actually. Actually, the tetany is the one which will caused by the bacteria. But here, whatever the tetany which is occurred, it is by the low secretion of PTH hormone. Hypocalcemic tetany, it called as. Body is going to become stiff. Means whatever the muscle contraction occurs, they will be remains in the contracted state only. And even in rest of the body parts, particularly in the facial region, wild muscle twitching is also going to be resulted by the hypoparathyroidism. Suppose now, if the parathyroid hormone level is going to increase in our blood, then what will happen? Then the question is, how it is going to increase the blood calcium level? It is, of course, from taking from the bone. Means loss of calcium from the bone is going to occur. And whenever from the bone, more amount of the calcium started to taken out, that ultimately leads into the bones to become more porous. This particular condition is called as osteofibrosis cystica, where the bones are becoming so weak. Even if the person, one who is suffering from the osteofibrosis cystica, if he fall down, suppose, by that time there is a much more chances are there the fracturing of bone. Bones are becoming so weak because of removal of the calcium from the bones. And even whatever the calcium is taken out of the bone, that will be keep on getting collected in the kidney, and that will lead into the formation of the kidney stones. Not only that, students, even the increased or decreased calcium levels in our body are going to be affect the functions of all the rest of the organs in our body. Means calcium plays a very important role in rest of all other body functions also. By this class, you properly understood the parathyroid gland and its hormone and role of the hormone, and finally even you have understood. So if it is decreased, what will happen? If it is increased, what will happen? Hypoparathyroidism and hyperparathyroidism, both that things also even you properly understood. Thank you, students, for listening the class till the end. I hope you are all and understood the things properly. So once again, I would like to request you all, if you not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe and press the bell button so you can get the notifications of all my uploaded videos, and write your comments. That will really help me to get encouraged and do good with the next videos. Thank you once again.